Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Kara Thorpe, and you are about to either watch for the first time or watch a recap of the introduction to 6 weeks to sustainable habits. And we're specifically talking about summer habits right now because selfishly, when I created this course, I thought, I always look forward to summer, and then I feel like all of my self care habits and routines fly out the window when I open them to get in that great summer air. So I just feel like the kids are home from school and I want to have so much fun. And then I end up staying up too late and I'm tired and my kitchen is always dirty. And I'm sure it's really not that bad, but in comparison to the way that I look forward to summer, I end up having some dissatisfaction. So I thought, what better way than to hold myself accountable than to bring along a group of people that I care about to help them hold themselves accountable too. So here you are. Thank you. The hardest part is showing up. And I'm going to go through these slides quickly enough that you'll get an idea of where we're headed. And then you can personally reach out and ask me questions about specific parts in the slides or formulations from Zallevo that you might want to order. But I know that you already have an idea of what we're doing. So I'm going to go on the fast side. So this serves as a recap or a quick introduction. And just quickly, before I start, this is my dream job. It's my dream job because I get to help people like you make your life better, whatever that is. And interestingly enough, I've spent the past 25 years building a learning company that meets students where they are and helps them use their gifts and talents, learn about how they learn, to use their gifts and talents and passions to change the world. And that's what I desire so greatly to help the mums do. My mom is from Canada, so I still use the phrase mom, but the people who give so much of themselves to everybody else, this is your time, right? This is your time to think about what's going to help you feel better. And for this course specifically about summer. So let's jump in. First, we're going to start with the health satisfaction check in. This is looking at your spiritual, physical, and mental health, three different categories that kind of make up your level of satisfaction with your current health. And this is a subjective number. This is your number, nobody else's, no shoulds here. I mean, you can have shoulds with yourself, but we'll talk about that later. Compared to your ideal, how are you doing physically, mentally, and spiritually? And this doesn't have to be a huge, long thinking process. It's meant as a benchmark so we can measure later. So, kind of off the cuff with your gut, write a number in each circle on your participant guide. Where are you in terms of your level of satisfaction? And before we go to the next slide, I just want to point out that we agree, I'm sure, that physical, mental, and spiritual health are so connected and related. And sometimes even what I would consider physical health, somebody else might consider mental health because that's the way they think about it. So it's the really neat part of coming together as a group is to explore how we think about each of these areas of our health and then how we can help hold one another accountable and lift each other up in even getting creative to problem solve, maybe where somebody needs help. So I really am looking forward to taking you through this and to hearing your thoughts about how these three areas go together and your goals. Okay, so you have rated your level of satisfaction, and now we're going to bring into play what you're currently doing. So simply, and I have added some examples to the grid below. What current routines are you doing? So, what's part of your current physical, mental, and spiritual health routine? The examples that I've added are taking a walk, working out, and stretching for physical, for mental, reading, morning routine and meditating. For spiritual, yoga, gratitude, and walking outside. And gratitude could be in the mental routine, or reading could be in the spiritual routine, as could yoga. So you see how the different activities can absolutely be interchanged for physical, mental, and spiritual, depending on how you look at them. And you know what? If you don't have a lot down right now, if you're sitting there and thinking at the page, if you're looking at the page and thinking, well, next question, because I don't have anything to write down, you are not alone. I am telling you, more often than not, when we get a group of women sitting down together, this stays blank. And that's part of the problem. That's why we are here. So if you've got the current routine, you're going to add the ideal routine or the aspirational routine. What would be a dream for you? And I put some of mine. For physical, I really, really need to guard my sleep with my autoimmune disease. I know that I just don't function well on less than 8 hours of sleep, especially as I get older. And so I'm looking to guard my sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. And I have some naughty habits that I'll share later for fun. And I don't do that well. And then, so mental is that kind of goes along with my physical. I really desire to have a nightly routine where I have a set sequence of habits that I go through in order to wind down for the evening. And one of those would include ending work at 4 p.m. I love my job. I love what I do, and I could do it all the time. But that's not good for my family. That's not good for my friends, even for my own mental, physical, and spiritual health. So I would like to change that. And for spiritual, I would like to add back in my Bible study fellowship practice. I'm part of a group. I really enjoy it, and I've gotten out of the habit of doing that regularly. Hopefully, my sharing has sparked some ideas for you about both your current routine and your ideal routine. These do not have to be big, hairy, audacious goals. They can be so super simple. Like, even one woman said, I need to take 5 minutes, hopefully a day, to think about what I want to do for these routines. And you know what? That's good. Even if it's 10 minutes a day sitting there and thinking nothing, that's good. So I can't wait to check in with you, if we haven't yet, about what you've got in your grid. I'm going to move to the next. Please pause or take the time you need to make this complete for you at the start of this course. Incidentally, this foundational time that we're taking really sets the stage for your success in the next 6 weeks. So take the time to make it real, check in, and there's no wrong answer, right? And I'm telling myself this just as much as I'm saying it out loud to you. So next, we have some questions for you to answer. Which specific habits would you like to add to your routine in the next 6 weeks? You may have a laundry list. You may have all kinds of ideas about things that you would like to do to have a greater level of physical, mental, and spiritual health satisfaction. What can you do in the next 6 weeks? And let's keep it simple and realistic. So maybe pick one from each category, or pick 3 from mental health. But I'm going to recommend choosing 3 habits that you can put into play, practicing over the next 6 weeks. You know what? And if you master those 3 and you can do them without thinking about them, then we will add more. But let's start with 3. Okay, next question. How do you see having accountability to this group is going to help you put these habits in place. What kind of things are you looking for personally, and visualizing that accountability will be brought out by having this group setting? Write it down, transfer it from your brain out of your head onto the paper, because then it becomes real for you and you're looking ahead at the outcome, at the positive outcome of participating in this group. That's what we want, right? We want you to get the most value possible. And then the next question, look again into that future, your future self. What obstacles do you think you might run into? Um, I ran into one today. I had my schedule all planned out, and I had one sick child at home, and I had one child I had to take to school late. So my schedule got cramped, and I still have to come back to a couple of activities. But if I've prioritized those activities, I will finish them by the end of the day. So that's my plan. Right now, we're just thinking, what are the obstacles you might run into? And then how can our group help you? Is it cheerleading? Is it challenging? And then how can you help others? Do you have the gift of the sense of humor? Do you have like that hardcore trainer, like drop and give me 10 approach that you could help people like just churn it out? Come on, suck it up. You can do it. But I enjoy so very much each of us bringing our personalities, our needs, our strengths to the table when we're participating in a group like this. I am your leader, but I am by no means the person who knows it all. And that's what makes this so fulfilling for me, because I get to learn right alongside you. So you have talked about so far, or you've written down your current physical, mental, and spiritual practices or habits, your ideal, and then you've chosen some three-ish that you'd like to add into your routine. You've looked into the future and you've seen how this accountability is going to help you put these habits in place. And then you've thought about obstacles and maybe some ways to get around those. Incidentally, you know how well women listen to help us solve our friends' problems. And um, I'm just so excited for when something arises to watch how you guys help one another. It's going to be awesome. All right. Next, you have either chosen ahead of time, or you're hearing for the first time about some formulations that have absolutely positively changed my life. The health and wellness company that I have fallen absolutely head over heels in love with and partner with to heal my body and to help coach others in healing their bodies at a cellular level. Incredible. That company is called Zallevo, and there are six main formulations, one extra special formulation. Um, and we keep it simple. And all of these elite formulations are the highest grade of quality of source. I'm going to go into very cursory glance at what each of the formulations can help your body and mind do to help give you success in this habit journey. And then you and me will talk individually about which formulations you're interested in hearing more about. I will tell you that our director of Zallevo Labs, Kirsty Cody, is brilliant and well-spoken and has put together hundreds of videos about each of these products with her specific nutraceutical background about each of the formulations and how the ingredients work together to unlock the miracle of your body. I cannot gush enough about the formulations, but I also want you to know this and experience this for yourself in your body. So, the basic formulations, as I said, there's six of them. There's Ultra 30 protein that comes in a whey and a plant. And there's 30 grams of protein per serving for each Ultra 30 shake, plus all of the amino acids and the essential minerals your body needs. It is a complete meal. And I have never drank a shake. And let me tell you, I have had my share of them without feeling like this, without feeling hungry, like I experienced with Zallevo. What drew me to Zallevo was the fact that the Ultra 30 protein has zero sugar. There is zero sugar, 0 grams of sugar in each serving of Ultra 30, and that blew my mind. The rest was history, or is history. Next, going down the list, we've got eVibe, which gives you natural energy. The ingredients in eVibe actually work with the mitochondria, the energy producing part of your cell, to I'll say, to tell the mitochondria you can do this. And so that energy, that powerhouse, create it, a part of the cell, helps your body create the energy, helps it do what it was designed to do. And you have all of the great energy without the shakiness, without creating an like an acidic gut environment, which is what I needed to protect myself from. Um, Similar to like what coffee can do to you, and you don't have the crash. Burn mode, intermittent fasting aid, incredible intermittent fasting aid with some natural appetite suppressants, and it has all of the essential minerals needed to nourish and support your body's natural detoxification process. Burn mode and eVibe mixed together is one of my favorite morning routines. I used to drink probably a pot of coffee. I now have about a cup and a half, and then eVibe and burn mode mixed together in my shaker bottle are my go-tos. I'll go up to the Fortitude 85. What an incredible mood, energy, and gut health support. Dog barking. Yep, we're just keeping it real. That's part of being a mom, right? She may start again, but I'm going to keep on going. Fortitude has changed my life. I have been able, quite simply, to withhold my emotional response in my parenting and think through how I really want to show up as a mom and even as a wife, especially when my nerves feel frayed at the end of the day, or when my dog barks when I'm mid sentence and giving a presentation. It is absolutely phenomenal how Fortitude 85 has helped me just feel the stress that I experience in my daily life. Yes, that's exactly the reason why Fortitude 85 exists, to help reduce our cortisol levels, reduce our body's response to stress, to oxidative stress, and help keep us young, young at heart, young inside, and help us heal as well. Now, Biome Daily and Biome Trim have changed my gut environment. I used to have serious bloating and lots of pain when I would eat. I had chronic pain for probably 20 years. And between the trim and the daily, and really all of the way that the formulations have worked in my body, I have been able to heal my gut, and I have noticed miraculous results. So if you're someone who has gut issues, definitely let's continue to talk about how the daily and the trim combined together can help you. And the Biome Trim has a specific feature of helping the body release the fat, including visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs. And fat around your organs, as you can imagine, decreases their functionality, their efficiency. And so the more that we can release that fat and absorb it back into the body, then we can promote our own healing and health inside the body. This is a cursory glance at the formulations. Let's talk. If you don't have yours yet, or if you need help unpacking your box and deciding which to take when, because I have those suggestions. I am your coach for this, and I look forward to helping you personalize your schedule. So I do have the note to text or message me with questions, and then to order, if you haven't placed one yet, you'll go to shopzallevo.com and then become unstoppable. No I at the end, just become unstoppable. I look forward to talking more with you about that if you need to. And now let's talk about goal setting. So you're going to take those 3 habits that you decided that you wanted to add in the next 6 weeks. For the sake of this exercise, I chose no candy, working on my nightly routine, and ending work at 4 p.m. And we want to take those goals and we want to write them well, because you're 90% more likely to achieve your goal if it's written well. What does that mean? You may have heard the acronym SMART before: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. All of those pieces need to go into the writing of your goal. And I'm also going to say, let's put it in active language like I will. So you'll find on your sheet 3 I will statements. I will blank for an average of blank. And then I've given you the choice: minutes, hours, days per week for the next 6 weeks. This is just a template you can use. I love when we put the word average into the statement, because it gives us the opportunity to make up a lost time. Say, if I said, I will, well, let's see, did I do that below? I probably did. So I'll jump into my statements. I will avoid candy for the next 6 weeks. I'm not doing an average of anything there. I just need to completely cut out candy because my relationship with candy is not healthy right now. I will spend an average of at least 10 minutes a week thinking about what kind of nightly routine will be sustainable this summer. So back to that word average, why does it help me? Because maybe I don't get to 10 minutes. Maybe I only do 5, but I could do 15 the next week, or, a combination of 12s and 13s to make up that extra 5. So I don't set myself up for failure. I give myself the opportunity to continue to strive toward that goal by using the word or the phrase an average of. And then I will practice ending work at 4 p.m. for an average of at least 1 weeknight for the next 6 weeks. 1. That's not very many, because it is probably one of the hardest things for me to do. And so I am not confident that I'm going to be able to do that. I'm starting small. I'm starting realistic. And yes, I will absolutely up my average. But if we go too big too soon, we know what happens, right, ladies? We know that we're setting ourselves up for failure. And that is not what this is about. This is about setting yourself up for success, for sustainability, for something real, not just a crash course that you are going to change everything later. We want this to be lasting. I can't say that enough. So if you are watching this as an introduction and you think, you know what, I just want to sit down with Kara for 15 minutes and write my goals with her, let's do that, because it's so important to me that above all else, you get value. It doesn't matter how much value I perceive is in this course. If you don't perceive the value, I haven't done my job well. So this is your intro to goal setting, and please ask questions if you have them. All right. On the next page of your book, you're going to see the mindset for this week. And I'm just going to challenge you to think, what if instead of I should get back on track, you say, I will shift my priorities. So right now, other priorities have taken the place of these habits that you want to put into place, but you're going to shift your priorities and you're going to prioritize these habits. So please write down, what is your priority? What's non-negotiable? And maybe for me, it's that night of ending work. non-negotiable. I have to do it. So no matter what, I have to do it. And there probably I should also prioritize. I don't want to do it. The sleep. Yep, the sleep. I should prioritize the sleep. So I've written in the goals. I will avoid candy. I will put thought into my nightly routine. I will end work at 4. And then I added, just so you can see an option for doing this, take biomes, fortitude, burn, e-vibe in the morning. That's when I take mine. Ultra 30 in the noon and the evening, and then collagen before bed. So I took some of my habit goals and then some of my Zallevo schedule, and then I can check those off as I go. You're going to find 6 weeks of weekly planning. And on the lines below, you can have space to write notes about your mindset, about your energy, what's working, what's not, any other notes. And then I know that you're going to have ideas about who would love to do this with you. We know that when we do things with our friends, when we make them fun, it's easier to do. And so, who do you want to bring along with you? Who needs to know about your goals and your weekly plan? I would love to know and help them do what we're doing together. It's my favorite. I have the best job. I'm just thinking, was there anything else I wanted to tell you about your weekly plan? You're going to have 6 of these. I will be sharing some information each day, and at the top of each week, a mindset idea. You can choose what I plan, or you can choose your own. Absolutely up to you. And if you have any questions about structuring your weekly plan and your check offs, please let me know. We have this introductory session, and then we will plan to meet in person, whether that's eye to eye, knee to knee in person, or eye to eye on Zoom. About midway through the plan, and then at the end too for our celebrations. And so then our last page after the 6 pages of weekly plan, you've got a notes page. We've got a couple of those. And so that's for whatever you need to add down, whether you want to add questions to ask or celebrations, or if you want to add quotations that have been meaningful to you throughout the time, let me know. And also, if this seems like something that you really are thinking about, you might enjoy helping other people do as well, let me know, because to me, this is just like, you see, Allie agrees with how exciting this is. I'm so glad you're here. I can't say that enough. Women, we don't do this enough for ourselves. And I know you know, because you're here, that when you show up for yourself in the most important ways, you actually show up for other people even better, and you show up the way you want to. And it's hard and it's frustrating when everything else that we do for people takes precedence over what we do for ourselves, because at the end of the day, we're weary and we're ragged. And then we are angry with ourselves when we're not the people we want to be for the people we love most. Um, I know this because I live it, and I have been working steadily at improving. I'm a work in progress, but I do have some tools that have helped me greatly, and I feel called to share them with you and with other people who you see can come along with us in this journey. So, again, thank you. I appreciate your willingness to listen, your willingness to work, and stick with it for the next 6 weeks. I want us to have fun together and keep it light and enjoyable and really get some sustainable habits down for ourselves. I look forward to hearing your questions, seeing you in person, checking in with you. And this is just the beginning. Let's rock the next 6 weeks.